Hello and welcome back. It's been a long time since Hambbage has been so fired up to get back into another session, but that's how things roll right at the moment. We are ready to go, and I am hiccupy. Just ate dinner. The laptop is, I tried to reboot it. I understood why there had been complaints from OBS. Apparently, Microsoft was installing a update for me, so my intention to reboot was reinforced by a update, and we should be all clean as a whistle, I would imagine. Thank you very much. And let's get to this. Miners are welcome. I choose to interpret that as the NERS version because we're going to do some mining. Excuse me one second. Whew. Um, Here's we get going. I kind of rushed back from dinner. I was so excited. So, here we are loading back up in our long-awaited destination. This is going to be kind of our anchor point. We've got loads to explore and do. First thing, though, I think, what's our water access situation look like? Maybe in from that side. I guess we'll kind of cheat forward here and clear a little swath of land, because just like back home, we're gonna start with a little base camp, right? That's only makes sense. We got to get our bearings. We got to kind of assess where we're at, what's going on, what resources we have on hand, what we need, all that stuff. And we're going to do it all right here, right now. I really fully expect we'll be spending a few episodes right around here. Just to kind of get squared away before we've done a lot of traveling. We need to rest our our dogs are barking feet wise. Although I bet back home Salty's barking too. But that's all right. I left Guava in charge, and Guava's a very intelligent bird. He can unlock the meat cabinet for the two other animals, and he kind of fends for himself. He's always chilling in the same spot when we see him, but whenever you turn your back, he's out flying around getting seeds. He knows where the chickens live and just kind of hangs out. He knows how to work that box. So he'll take full responsibility for all the other pets. Make sure that everybody's in good shape. Why don't we just start over here? I kind of want to, stay at sea level. We'll eventually build there. And we're getting some new blocks. We'll talk about all those. All these are good building resources, but for me, the one that we really wanted was this red sand that I've been shoveling. That just like regular sand, we can compress into sandstone, red sandstone, and then we can cook to make smooth red sandstone, which has the same blast resistance as our regular smooth sandstone. So real good building material, and this is the other side of the color palette that I wanted for back home. I want to be able to use the two sandstones together. I think the red and the creamy white look really good working together, and the acacia wood ties it all in. Really a good palette, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we can build with those. But this is kind of what we were waiting to get our start. We want to get our shulker box set. Now, we won't want to lose these, but again, now we've got coordinates, so even if we were to forget some back home, or forget some here, sort of home, second home, be all right. Now, oh, we did have the maps. Well, that's cool. So, one crisis averted. We're going to want the crafting table. What else do we have in here? Oh, what else do we have in here, I mean? An anvil, not super important yet. The obsidian, not super important yet. Let's put that in. Just these couple. Anything that's tool related, I think we're going to want that. In fact, we may want... Well, for a second, let's put that in. We're still getting squared away. We want to get our bed down. We've still got a lot of daytime here. So what are our priorities? What's next up? I think just as I did that, got this. Let's put the rest of our traveling loots in here. The stuff that we don't need day to day. Sandstone can go in. The TN. Oh, we're full. Let's take the stick out. Put that in. We've got nuggets that could make one more iron bar, and that could make a difference here in the short term. We can move this to here. Just combine and stacking. And we don't need the two boats out at the moment, so let's just tuck them away. Everything's got its place. Everything's happy. All right. Now, into here. We can put the terracotta. And again, we can do lots of stuff with all this. We'll keep the one because there's going to be lots of it here. Next up, let's make red sandstone. Same reason we made regular sandstone. It's just a space saver. So we'll tuck those two away. Now we're back out to more sand. But before we further clear up our space, and that's why I wanted to grab another bed, next up we're going to need some wood. And there's two sources of it here in the biome. The first is the top of the mesas here. Again, the naming is a little bit off. These used to be mesa, and then they changed it to badlands, and the mesas kind of tied into the savannas. So just kind of be aware that you've got a duality there. So we want to kind of start here, and we'll actually tree farm a little bit again, just so that we know we've got a good stock. Again, we're a long way from home, and wood is always helpful. There's another source of wood in here, but tough to beat trees and logs when it comes to that. So while we're here, Wooded Badlands Plateau, that's our second. I don't know if we pulled up, if I showed it for you guys when we were grabbing the coordinates for the screenshot, or not the screenshot, the notepad. But the other one is just, I think it's like Badlands, just Badlands maybe? Anytime you guys want to decay is fine. So we can start getting some saplings. Again, it's, we got a zillion of them back home, but now we have to play the waiting game again. It's kind of silly, but it's our own. We could have brought some. We just chose not to. All right. And as you can see, there's lots, lots of up high trees, and this is so, this is gonna offer lots of time for me to kind of just talk, about stuff I've learned or the areas I've been in, because this is, areas that while I don't live directly in this environment or similar environment, the American Southwest certainly resembles this kind of a landscape. So now we'll just drop a bed when the sun actually goes down. Remember, we're up high though, so it's going to take it a minute to actually get to ground level. Kind of restricted on the dirt over here. There's an apple even. Don't know that we'll need a lot of those, but good nonetheless. Okay, sun's down. Let's get our sleep in. So we didn't get quite a full stack of logs, but that's still enough to get us started. We're really immediately looking for just local chests here. We want to have enough room to not clog our inventory. We're going to have way more stuff than we can possibly bring home with our current shulkers. And that, again, that's why we want the portal, right? We want speed access back and forth between these. So we'll work to get all that set up as quickly as possible, but there probably will be an overlap time where we leave a bunch of the building material type stuff here and head back, with what we can carry, and then start again. So, yeah, this is good. What we needed. All right. Just about good enough, I think. All right, that's fine. Now if we can get away without extra impact. So we ended up with a lot of sticks anyway. Just out of chopping the trees and the decay stuff. So pretty good little start. Gotta like that depth strider speed. Alright, so planks, and we'll just start with nice 8, and we'll make that into, can you guys hear that one? The doors and windows are all shut now, but yeah, fire bombers are out and about. I hope there's nothing too major going on, and maybe they're just, preparing for the season or training, but they've been going. Alright, so now we can split out these guys, and, at least a sandstone and a terracotta section. Just juggling back and forth. Okay, so good there. Now we want to kind of split our efforts a little bit. I want to clear enough area out to our little marker here so that all of that is buildable, because before we leave here, we want to be at least clear enough that our nether portal that we build is enclosed, safe and secure, all that good stuff, and lit. We won't go through it because we'll want to go via the nether to the other side and build it from there. So the hope here is that our shovel holds out well enough to get all this layer, and the sand is pretty thin, right? And that becomes a limiting factor. We'll never have as much of this, even in all this area, as we do with the deserts and the regular sand. It's a more limited commodity, but it's cool, and at least in terms of an accent, looks really good. And again, we don't have to be committed to that. Wherever we actually build the portal, we can commit the coordinates down to pen and paper and be ready to coordinate that with our portal in the nether. Our shovel is holding up very well to this. With all the extra picks, it won't be a problem to level out the rest of this into a flat area, and then we can, kind of figure out what we want to build for just a temporary kind of portal house to start. Oh, hi, creeper. Oh, can you not come up to see us? It's too bad. Lots of that kind of stuff around here, and I did comment that there were some cobwebs on one of the cliff faces, and that's an important feature. We're going to get to that before we head on. I'm sure we'll probably be in there before we wrap up this episode. I just want to do this little bit of housekeeping before we really get going. And this is where all the mending picks are going to make a huge difference, because while the nether rack is kind of worse about tearing up our durability, this stuff, you guys saw, it's not super quick to break with the pick, and we'll chew them up as well. So now, ultimately, I think all this is going to want to push, but for at least a bit, lots of little pitfalls and traps all in these areas. It's cool. It's definitely, it stays fun for quite a while because it just keeps you on your toes a little bit. Lots of content and lots of, the colors, the variety, all very, very cool, I think. So that's why, for me at least, it's up there as a kind of top favorite building area. Right, how much more of this do we have to go before we're at level? As I'm playing here, I almost always run an upload while I'm playing an episode. I don't like to have a whole bunch of them backed up, but I kind of intentionally didn't start any after having done the update and loaded everything. All that traveling RAM, which should now all be reset after the reboot and certainly the update. Kind of left everything idle. I wanted to have good performance, no potential issues by overtaxing. So a little bit of a backlog. I'm sure that I'll just set all the outstanding content to run overnight tonight and hope it gets up without any issues. Fingers crossed there, I guess. But yeah. kind of doing this because I guess we can cheat it back the other way, but never exactly want to be. Okay, we're full. Well, there's a lot of the sand. It can be it'll take me a minute to get used to all this. Can be, a little overwhelming at times. It's so nice that it compacts down like that at least. So store it now. We don't with our coal blocks and everything back at base. We don't need to process it further here. But yeah, even with the efficiency 5, this part slows quite a bit. And you can use terracotta to, you can glaze it, which there's widely ranging opinions on whether that's atrocious or cool. They look a little funky, and the colors vary a little bit, but alright, we'll just run this way back and then hop into bed. Alright, terracotta, sand. Stone. Oh. Someday. Why is... Okay, put that down there so I can understand what's going on, what I'm seeing. There's one more, maybe a couple blocks. So, I'm not too worried about clearing all this in one go, but like I said, I didn't want to just be sitting in kind of like a little box canyon in case as we're working any creepers come along or anything. So if we can widen this out to where it's stepped and just level all the way across, I'll call that kind of good. Then we'll go get some exploring done, see about getting some coal. Yeah, I mean, the efficiency 5 certainly makes it pretty quick, but it's more like end stone. It's not, you're not just mowing. You remember the netherrack where we were just running full speed, taking out 2 rows at a time. Not the same beast here, and that makes sense. It would be a very clay, late terracotta. Of course, is a baked pottery type item. So it's really implying the clay-laden soils of the American Southwest. And as a kid, as I've said, I grew up in the upper Midwest, and being a skier, there were lots of trips, both summer and winter. The summer not to ski, but just hiking or biking or other various trips to the mountains, and in the winters skiing. So depending on whether you were going to Montana or Colorado, you would often go past the Badlands on I-90, I believe. So those were always a highlight for me. A few stops. I haven't like camped there or anything, or really explored as an adult. Black Hills, I certainly have. Being closer on the west end of South Dakota, I've gone back there as an adult from Colorado a few times. So I've done some camping up there, and more more recently aware of that side than the Badlands so much. But so I don't know. I don't know if the clay stuff. But again, these were not initially called Badlands, and are much more reminiscent of the kind of it's Canyonlands. And again, painted canyons and stuff of the Badlands are very beautiful and very layered with colors, just like this. But the deeper red as a base, to me and a lot of people, I think, definitely evokes thoughts of more the American Southwest, Utah and Arizona, and of course the Grand Canyon type area, all of that, where any of the canyons where you have exposed strata in the rock, and based on the mineral composition of the layers, you're going to have different colors. The red coming from iron embedded that's then rusting out, oxidizing as it's exposed to air and water, as the rock erodes. So that does a lot of the staining and makes it quite beautiful for us, just as humans that happen to be here observing the results of and an ongoing natural process. All right, terracotta. Dump all that. And then we got a little bit of sand, and this was other sand. Let's see how many we can get knocked down here. Very good. All right, so one sand there. Let's make... I hear you, zombie, and now I can't even blame it on guava when I hear you guys. So let's make a single double chest over here, and this is going to be our random supplies stuff. And we'll just put those odds and ends that we kind of grab along the way. Alright, so next huge need, we're down to 28 torches. That's not enough. We're geared up here for combat, and look at it, we already got raiders. That's nice. I bet they don't know we have milk. Not that I expect to see many villagers out in this area. Unless we bring them. Hey guys, you're going for a swim, huh? Alright. Don't cramp up. So we'd pass this boat. I think the arch was back there. That's very cool. And I think back this way was where we'd seen a few little holes. There we go. When this biome first came along, which was before the aquatic update, any of the massive villager stuff, this was... Well, I thought there was another opening up here. Maybe not, though. Same kind of principle, right? Trying to get to the uppermost of exposed areas. So when this first came along, it was... Oh, why? I just want to open... Oh, look at that. Just what we needed. And a name tag. Very good. Alright. So, a few extra torches and some more coal to make more, which is even better. So, when this first came along, abandoned mine shafts had been in the game, of course. They've been around since very early on. Oh, I don't have any blocks yet. Yeah, let's get some stone. Just to have a stack, because it's been a while since we've needed any of that. Abandoned mine shafts have been there, but they were deep underground, and this was an innovation in that these gold mines, which is, Black Hills Gold is a thing, and made, the series Deadwood was kind of built around a Black Hills gold rush. I don't know all the dates exactly. I don't know how it compared to California or the Colorado Silver Rush or any of those things, but it was kind of the same vintage, right? That 19th century. Um, and as you can see, there's loads of gold right up here on the surface, and these mines, as you see, just stick out into the air, and you can find, that I don't know if the tunnel that we were close to back there had a direct connect into another area of mine, but there's these can range wide and deep. They basically take on the same attributes of the abandoned mine shafts. You'll find similar stuff. I don't know, like cave spawner spiders and stuff, if they're around in this. But certainly, like the dirt floor room in the middle, and all these pillared kind of sections and all that, all make it very reminiscent. But you get the dark oak wood in. They changed that up. It was still fairly new to the game at the time. So this is our other big source of wood, though, in this biome. You can restock and supply just by being able to come into the mine and pull the supports and all that kind of stuff, if you need to. I definitely just like having trees, so we're going to get low on torches. I'm kind of leaving the gold, but it will be greatly appreciated and helpful. But there's some more coal. That's outside. It's very lacking in mobs at the moment, which is it's welcome, but it's a little surprising. Alright, so sleep, because we're low on torches, low on everything. 15 would get us almost a full stack back, so we're not completely. I have no idea where where everything was in this particular. Oh, I thought that was deeper. Guess not. Alright, so there's a cave spider spawner. I was just saying, do we have a cave spider spawner? Looks like. I am very concerned about the lack of response in here. Alright, get all that? Nope. Over here. So of course we're gonna by not having grabbed the Fortune 3 pick, we're gonna lose any multiplier effect on our coal ore, but with the iron picks, at least we can at least get coal that we need to make torches. If we need to fuel a furnace or any of that. So yeah, we'll be back to 1-to-1, which is a little lame, but it's not the end of the world. Again, we're just getting a foothold here, kind of getting established, get a start, load up what supplies we can carry, and then head on back and try to make, quicker, more efficient means to get back and forth. So, first things first, iron pick. Currently the shovel is most dinged up. I think we're going to be fighting a losing battle here, but because I have a lot of picks anyway, you know, the shovel is a lone representative here, so if we can take care of anything, that's the one we want the XP to go to. And again, fortune never affects the XP, so we're not doing worse on repairing by breaking this. We just won't get the bonus coal, and that's okay. At some point, we may opt to those sticks. Okay, got lots of sticks. Did I make sticks, or did I just pick up that many? That's crazy. Oh, because I broke all the dead wood with the shovels. That's right. Alright. So, sticks away. Switch this back. Totem back. You know, a little bit, but everything helps on the shovel. And yeah, now we just, kind of early focus on the mine, see what other, how many name tags we can get, how much of that little random goodness, and you saw all the gold ore we can pull back. And that one's a little more tempting, if we end up super long, or if we're coming back and bring a stack of coal blocks, cooking the gold here is actually a pretty good idea until we have loads of shulkers, and it just doesn't matter because you can stack it, right? You can combine it back into, and I don't even want to mess with it, because sometimes you wind around, you come out on the other side or something. It's like, where did my boat go? So anyways, sometimes you cooking local can open up all that extra inventory space. I think we already got this one, right? Yep. Because you can combine the ingots that you make into blocks. So, 9-to-1 carrying capacity. That's pretty good. In my book, at least. Alright, now we have the stone back to deal with that. So slow compared to the nether. We had that spider spawner we'll need to go clear. Probably right underneath us now. There's some more coal eventually. Let's try to go low again if we can. I think we'd been down here. Ooh. Was it down this way? No. This way. Alright. No problem. Oh. Hey, come here. Stop hitting me, man. Just like so many other things, cave spiders, not quite the same challenge once you got a lot more gear. If you can manage to hit them, that is. Now, we don't have an iron sword or shears or anything yet for clearing up the... I knew you guys were hanging out somewhere. It's just kind of lulling us, like, oh yeah. For a push. And, it's... in some ways, it's a little less intimidating than the abandoned mine shafts deep underground, because you can always, if it's not nighttime, you can just retreat to the daylight and get clear of all these guys. However, it is also very open, so you can get a lot more drop hole kind of stuff, that all that potential for trouble. But again, we're kind of moving on in certainly when this stuff was created, netherite wasn't a deal. You didn't have where'd you come from? It's just quiet shoes behind me. Yeah, no, obviously no netherite. So all the game mechanics since these came out have come a long way, and that means that a lot of this becomes a lot more just breezy, whatever stuff. And I did say right as we left home, I should have meant to bring the fortune, and I didn't. You're not a cave spider. Now is this the same, just from the other side? I think. Well, nothing has mobbed me yet, so I'm gonna assume it's clear. Alright, nothing too significant there. Let's grab more coal. See where it leads us. Probably will connect into something else. So that's kind of the basics of what we've come here to play with. Is it as crazy as the Nether post update? Maybe not. But between the challenge and kind of just the fun of running around dealing with all this stuff and the building materials that are available as a result of it, I think it's a pretty winning combination. It's still holds up for me, more fun, at least as you're going quickly than the abandoned mine shafts, because one, I think they did ratchet up the number of chests and stuff. Like, yeah, that back when you made abandoned mine shafts, that was so cool by itself. It was amazing. But people kind of roll those now. Can we up it a little bit? So hi. And they can vary as to how far they go, just like the abandoned mine shaft. You think you're all done, and then it pops up. The difference being that you can, if you really want to, you can actually strip mine. Just pull the whole thing down around itself, take the top off the mountain, and because it's only, yeah, it's a significant project to do it, but it's not like digging down to level 20. You're just like, digging into the 40s or whatever. So if you've ever wanted to say that you strip mined an abandoned mine shaft, the Badlands gold mines are probably the way to go. I don't like using up the sword on a lot of cobwebs, but there are times when really don't like filling up my inventory with one each of granite and diorite. Whoosh. So, the nice obvious thing here is we've improved. We're just cruising this. Remember when we were in Cave Spider Springs and creeping, retreating, using precious arrows and just trying to make sure we didn't get too poisoned. Those days are gone. Now we're kind of able to do as we will. If we can make the jumps. Look, getting closer to another surface, maybe on another side, but then a whole new section opens up, right? Another chest. I knew he wanted to be here. There's our banner pattern. We'll leave the redstone. Again, let's go back here. Oh. I don't know why those are having such a tough time. Let's drop off a bunch of this stuff. Keep everything else. It's another stack of torches. Just in chest coal, right? We haven't even done anything else that we mined. Oh, you were there. Where you at, buddy? Well, that's almost not fair. For the spiders. Alright. Fair enough, you get your shots in, because I did wreck your home. Oh, did you get stuck? And we're just going to sit here. I'm going to take a sip. That was a lot of poison. Did a whole heart of damage eventually. And again, here I don't worry nearly as much about getting lost as I do in the underground, because now, even if we're in if we find a completely untouched abandoned mine shaft and we start excavating it, yeah, we're pretty adept. We can just make stairs up and out, come up wherever it is, ocean or otherwise, and we're fine, right? Just push on, discover what you can, and then get out when you're done. But even more so here, because we're in a hill, right? So you can only go so far, and you're gonna pop out in another on some side of the hill. So it's nighttime. Anything around? Boat for bed. This is not the place to do this, I'm sure. Let's see if we can get woken up by a creeper. I don't know if he was cave or not, but so he was just an evacuee of my earlier excavation. So I really think, other than just incidental, I don't think while we're here I'm going to go after the gold yet. We'll have loads of time to come back and do it. we aren't short on gold. I think we've got stacks, and we've obviously grabbed like, a dozen gold blocks just in our boat trip. So pretty good. So I think we came in over there. Yep. So we came in on the other side of that hill. We popped into the middle, and look, I mean, it's just mines everywhere around here. It's amazing. Mine carts just hanging out in the daylight with diamonds, more name tags. Pretty darn good. And again, I like this biome more for the aesthetic, I guess. Just the rocks and the landscape and the occasional arch. And those aren't really features that I think are coded in all the time. They just kind of happen. And, it's wonderful because they also happen in nature in these types of environments. If you get the right durable stone sitting above much more erosive stone, the more erosive stuff underneath will actually get blown, literally blown out by the wind over time and leave the arches. And that's what happens in dry, sandy type environments. That doesn't happen in places where it's as wet. The main eroder is not flowing water. It's airborne dust dust or sand particles. Sand is much more abrasive than dust, but you kind of get the idea, right? That's what's coming through and chewing up all the rocks that are around is a bunch of scouring dust that's blowing around. So it's kind of sandblasting in a slow, low power form over hundreds and thousands of years is what gets some of those cool formations. And then canyons are where what water is introduced from other areas flows through. And I think we'd already looked in there. That was where the diamonds were. I'm so happy. So many name tags we can use. We can start naming up some of our gear. We got torches now. Regular golden apple. Meh, I guess we'll take it, right? Snarkiness aside, so good. We're gonna get more of those, I know, but we can do that, I think, just to have more room. Oh, come on. Come on. Ugh. Game, sometimes. Alright, can I hit that guy? Hey. Oh. Oh. At least you're a regular spider, not a poison spider. Alright. Sorry, sword. I know this is not what your edge is all about. Alright, be that way. We'll try to do this right. Take away all the hidings. Oh. Hey. What was I saying about, oh yeah, we don't need to retreat and go Pull back. Yeah, kind of do at times. The basics never leave. That's why you play early. Or, you know, why you gotta progress. And if you master stuff without the gear, then you're more equipped to handle it when you've got it. So, and then you can get into just, you know, regular caves as well. That might be something to explore further if, honestly, if we ever get back this deep wherever we are. I mean, there's this must be where we came in, I guess, if there's no, maybe not. I don't know. I guess not. It's gravel trap. And you can just, you know, roll for like this. As long as it's got stuff to show us. And enchanted apples to give us. Alright, so this is all, well, that's not. I know we've got company down this way. Oh, okay. Let's go back to axe mode. No surprises. Oh. Hi, creeper. Ooh. Well, the game had to have one. It was like, we make all these creepers. You never let any of them blow up. We're only like an hour into this episode, too. So good. Oh, that could be gravel trap. Or it could just be a mob trap. Alright. And yeah, you know, I get it. I say, I certainly, you know, my preference of play is not speed run. But when you get to a point where you're going through the content, that I don't mind going fast. I don't want to play the shortcuts or, you know, whatever the content part of the game where you're trying to jump technologies as quickly as you possibly can. I certainly have no idea where we are, in case anybody's wondering. But it would be cool to get to at least a mine cart, whether we've been there or not, and drop off some junk. Okay, that's an end. I didn't really look up. I guess I should have. I think we got more of this. Oh, this way? Came down that way. Anything more this way? Yes. We got daylighty stuff that way, and looks like twilighty stuff this way. Yeah, I'd say that's... Ooh, that's weird. Rain in other biomes, maybe? Or just weird night. Odd. I don't know what that was. Yeah, okay, this is the chest. This is how we got in here. Dump, 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 dump. We'll keep those. I guess that was from the creeper. But yeah, we could use some actual cobble. We could use more torches. So let's... can we? I guess let's just try to get out. If we can avoid getting lost. I think this was how we emerged over here. Oh, well, this'll be a shortcut. We just gotta... Sorry, sword. Forgive us. Oh, wait, this is the one we poked through on the side of, so I don't think we've been... If there's even anything down here. We get some more coal. That's good. Oh, wait. How many torches did I say we had left? Okay. It's so cool. I love it. It's just like, oh yeah, you're out. Nope, nope, you're not out. There's a whole nother tunnel right there. I think that one's probably going to be a little shorty though, but it may turn just from the glimpse I caught. Yep, figured that would happen. Go at least take a peek. Yeah, no turn. Oh, that's a shame. Throw a light in it anyway. So then this should take us right back out to the little cove. We had a boat. Another enchanted golden apple. Can you believe that? We paid our dues. That's all I can say. We definitely had to suffer. So, if you're a player, what do you think about the Badlands? Love them or hate them? I think there's kind of both sides represented on a lot of that stuff. I will put in the cobble. Put away some of this. Stack those. Oh, I love it. How did we have extra torches that I didn't even see? Oh, don't answer. Don't answer that. I'm sure I don't want to hear. Okay, so we can have loads of coal now. And we can likely get our shovel all the way back. This time we'll do a full run. Oh, that was I was like, I think it was this one that came all the way. Oh, but this is a step. So yeah, this actually is the one I was gonna say. Oh, I guess there's one other. So yeah, we're not gonna be hurting for coal, like I said. When we come back, it will either, by the time we get back here, I should say, we will either bring the Fortune 3 with us or have enough shulker boxes to just take pure coal back home with us, right? That, I think won't take much here. It's not, we're getting a lot of torches alongside, but, we'll make a few more stacks. You use them quick in the mines, but you're also getting coal left and right as you do it, so... like I said, we got a bit of building to do still. We want to come away with something that at least gives us a starting point for knowing that when we come back, we're not just going to pop up into a nest of creepers all circling around. Ooh, look at the pretty purple glow of the portal. So that's the goal, and we'll like 14-able check our numbers before we do any portal lighting in the nether end. That's the thing, right? That's like quadruple, quintuple, but to the 14. One of these times I may even move over. Get a little bit longer run. We might be able to get a full. I don't know, it was like 44, I think, so it might be a hard press to get a full stack done. But with our shovel, it's almost there. Get our pick cleaned up. I think our sword we can probably just rely on a bit of combat for. But yeah, while I'm not going to use the terracotta dominantly in building, look at all the color options that are all, I've said I kind of like the earth tones and all that. Just mixing in. And, the fort building style that we're talking about, that uses a lot of Adobe, right? And that's a version of terracotta, right? And it's sun baked, and for floors and things like that can be really nice and I think attractive. So yeah, all I have to do is keep an eye on her. And we got the one extra iron pick. That's the one thing you may have noticed. There's lots and lots of gold, not a lot of iron. So in terms of tools, that's where sometimes you have to get lucky and find that actual cave and go deeper. Once you get out of the kind of mesa, it's not a mesa, the Badlands mines, then you can find more iron and kind of, restack your tools and all that kind of stuff. Again, we're one mending fortune axe away from not having to worry about that either, but we'll be alright. Certainly with what we got on the boat trip out here and what we'll be able to find here if we need to, we'll be just fine. Is that one too many over now? I think we might be alright. Won't even matter. So we didn't quite get our shovel all the way back, but in pretty good shape. So what are our goals now? Now with the shovel recharged, we're gonna turn back to this area and clearing and building prep. We want to have a nice big level area, kind of like we've got back at home, where we can make something to live in. And I won't claim for beauty in the room we leave there, because I'd like to get back, set the tools and all that kind of stuff, but we'll be alright. So let's come back here, put all these away, keep that. We did that because we lost all our diamonds. What other stuff do we have? Let's put You away. What did I do with all those extra apples and everything? And the enchant, did I just... Oh, okay, I already put those. I was like, uh-oh. And let's start a gold ore pile. It looks like we're close to sleep time. We can stash these two for now. Let's totem up just in case. Sleep now that we can. I'm gonna take a sip. Sorry if there's extra noise. I'm still wearing a ball cap from earlier today. And bump the bill every once in a while with a mic. Alright, back to shoveling. So I think, you know, as a starter, we'd kind of push that way, and maybe we'll go that full range. You know, we can do a lot here too to kind of beautify and, you know, bring in some dirt, plant some stuff, make, you know, garden or something. You know, we don't have to do fields at all. We're all good there, but just beautification stuff. Bring in some of the exotic trees and put them on. And like I said, don't forget, we may well find that we've got more of these now. Now that we found the one, we may find like 8 on the way back. Would not surprise me a whole lot. And then we'll have decisions to make on, you know, do we start over again? Do we do whatever? And that's why I think we'll do what we need to do here to clear out and set a base kind of as a priority, and then that was it. Alright. Then start heading back rather than, you know, pulling a bunch of resources or any of that kind of stuff, because if we do find one a lot closer, that would certainly shorten our trek on the Nether Express. And, you know, we're never going to lose these coordinates. They're locked in. I'm happy to be here and be in this area, so we'll keep track and can certainly, you know, eventually come back. But if we do have, you know, a much shorter run in the Nether, if we found another one between here and home, I'd certainly be happy enough to reevaluate what we're doing, because it will be a bit of a grind to run that road through. We'll, you know, try to do it efficiently, but if we find a few Nether fortresses along the way, it may lead to wither fights, all kinds of stuff. But what the most important thing, all the sandstone that we're making and storing away that we're going to bring back as a priority good in our shulker boxes, that will help us make the darkroom spawner. And once we've done that, then, you know, with a little twiddling of our thumbs and boring content waiting for it to fill and empty, we can pile up some gunpowder, and that means that we'll be more able to fly long distances. So lots of good coming in the not too distant future. Now, we do have that cave that we've already stumbled into. We want to be aware and not completely fall into that. Yeah, I hear you guys. I hear you talking. We're gonna get you. Gonna get you. Lots of room. getting mesmerized by the gentle plopping of breaking clay with picks. It's kind of like Skyrim. Everybody remember their first time playing Skyrim when they first discovered clay and were like, oh, this is just like, a copper deposit or something. I'm gonna mine it up, and you've been used to the deposit is now depleted, and before you know it, you have like 500 pounds worth of clay in your inventory. You can't move, and you're like, oops. Yeah, that was me at least. I think I've seen enough to know a few other people got caught in that too. Yeah, little clay mining with a pick here too. At least I think we swing it more aggressively than the Skyrim characters do. Their little two-handed Bob the Builder hammer taps are not not consistent with at least how I play my characters, who with alarming frequency cave people's heads in with warhammers, and yeah, they attack rock with these gentle little taps that go nowhere. Alright, we're getting there, guys. I know it's so far just kind of a grind, but hopefully we'll I didn't have a bit of red sand. Oh, this is all orange, not regular. There's regular terracotta too. We're gonna end up with a lot of that, I have a feeling. We'll kind of mix it up since we're in the heart of orange country, I guess. We'll keep our focus there for the moment. I'd like to drop into your cave, get it cleared out. I don't want to listen to you guys in my new home. Did just have a thought. Remind me when I finish this layer, because you guys can't. I talk to you like you're a Twitch chat, and I hope at some point to be able to open this up to live audience and feedback, but I'm going to try to remind myself when I finish this layer, there's some sugar cane over there. And it occurs to me that we could be growing that while we're breaking these and get at least some paper. And you know what paper goes along with? The stack of gunpowder I have. And well, it may not get us all the way home. I'm not opposed to trying to fly as much of this return trip as I can. That's why we have an orange wings and gunpowder box that just stays in the ender chest. Because you never know. Maybe I should have started that sugarcane right away By the time we get all done with this, it could have grown a full size. Oh, I'm so happy to be here, you wonderful, wonderful Badlands. You're so glorious. And you've already given us so much, including second enchanted golden apple. I mean, we're 2 for 2 in episodes now. that's kind of silly. I don't think you can find tridents in Badlands chests, though. All right. Yeah, we're a little late on the sugarcane, but we'll see. So it won't make any difference. Alright, so we're not in massive sugar caning yet, but we've all seen at the lodge construction how quick that can turn. I think we may already have some of this, but let's just grab a bunch of sand. Sorry, you. What's the fish? Nope. Sorry, farmer. Really didn't have the means to heal you, though. It'd be kind of cool to have some kind of a homie. Homie up in the area here. Sorry. Side project here, by the way. We need paper. I'm clicking, making me and you guys endure that. You're standing on the edge, just hold it. It can't even go too high. Alright. Those are rabbits, but they sound very bird-like, tweeting. Whoa! Alright, that was new. We kind of rode the sand block down deep into the depths. Alright, not gonna be a marvel of the modern world, certainly, but may at least help us fly home. Alright, got a bunch of random stuff, including a carrot, If I got another one, I could feed those bunnies and make them, what's that say? No? No sand. Alright. Well, you can go down there. You can go there. Orange and orange. All orange that time. Okay. Junk box. Why do I now have 2 more sugarcane? I don't think I ever had 64, did I? Oh, maybe I was holding the sand when I broke them or something. Alrighty. Plant's closest to the deal. Alright, you guys grow big and strong. Now, I suppose we should go with this style so we are always coming back close to the to the sugarcane as frequently as possible. At least for a while. I don't really, man, if we can fly most of the way home or even a part of the way home, that would be huge. I was not looking forward to like, okay, now we gotta start walking again. We may be home by the next episode. Because again, I don't really want to overwork here. You know, I'll put in the time to get all this stuff set, and we'll leave the chests of terracotta here. We'll have them. But I'd really like to get that gunpowder, get the portals linked up. Just like that, you know, that'll happen immediately. You guys still growing? How close do I have to be to make sure that you grow? Come on out. We'll play with you guys. You don't just have to bear. That does sound like a baby, though, so that could be exciting. Be a lot more encouraged if the sugarcane was actually growing. Every time I go by, it sounds like their footsteps are like behind me. And I have to just fight the ears. Where are they? Underneath. But I really kind of thought we would have exposed a cavern of them or something down there. Sugarcane. What do I have to sing to you? I don't think anybody else would appreciate that. But you guys are so sweet. Maybe you would. What do you think? Same. I mean, by definition, it's the same, but maybe it feels like it's going faster. Hold on, little pick. What is the deal with that sugar? Maybe there's like a default weight to start, and then once it gets going, it'll pop a little more quickly. Again, we're not that far. We shouldn't have to be right on top of it. If we were just exclusively down at the other end, it may be far enough that it wouldn't be loaded. Although, what we got, like 16 chunk render distance. I think if they're loaded, it should be growing. I think I'm just being impatient. It's about half a pick in this project so far. That's why we got 5 of them. Alright, let's go unload the pockets. Yeah. Do a little run down to Sugartown. Get that. Maybe it doesn't grow as fast if it's got sand right next to it. Try that. Oh, reminds me of skies in the desert Southwest when you're camping, and it's just impossibly, the mountains are like that too, because you get up above a lot of the atmosphere. But when you're in the desert and it's dry air, no humidity to obstruct any vision or obscure any of the light, and no light pollution that you have to deal with. Just amazing. Just think, once we have netherite for this pig, it'll be like an extra 500 wax we can give all this stuff before we start all over again. What on earth is the problem here? I need you, sugar canes. We're gonna have to go on a boat trip when we get done and just gather it up. Maybe if I leave it, it'll feel neglected and scared, and decide I won't love it anymore if it doesn't grow to earn my affection. Right? That's how dependent relationships and things work, as far as I know. More of the Siren Brigade. Oh, what's going on today? Between the planes and the garbage truck and the whatever that is. Ooh, stopped abruptly. Usually you hear them recede in the distance. An hour and a half here. We get all this done. I'm gonna have to go be the nosy neighbor, see what's going on. Didn't sound like it was in like my parking lot. It sounded like it was out on the street. Usually, even if it's like a medical emergency or something in here, they come in pretty quiet. I think the properties try very hard to ensure that they're as cooperative as possible with police, and that if there's ever a need for any kind of a presence like that, that it's done quietly, as seems to happen all too often. I'm not saying that it's any different here than in other places in the country, but a couple of years ago on like New Year's Day or something, it was right around the holidays. There was another, it wasn't as bad as the recent grocery store shooting, but there was a tragic shooting where police were called to an apartment type residence and were basically ambushed. It was sad, right around the holidays and everything. But so there's a lot of that sensitivity that goes on in these kinds of I don't mean communal like commune, but like a communal living space area, kind of like this, where you've got lots of neighbors in very close proximity, and people are understandably concerned when you have a lot of people, and there's always turnover in these kind of places, so it's not more so than in a neighborhood. Although a lot of the neighborhoods and stuff have rentals, and those you don't know everybody the way that I've described it from my own childhood, where every neighbor, you knew the families, and they would live in their homes, until they, necessity, whether it was nursing home or unfortunately if they just passed away or whatever, or that they had to move for a job or something like that. But most people stayed there the whole time. Their kids grew up and left, and they would be empty nesters. And I think that says a lot about the Midwest as far as um, a desirable place to live and raise a family and grow up. The horrible rap. And as a Denver Bronco fan, I try not to talk sports too much, but I'm a sports guy. Um, and I was a fan growing up of one of the old Norris NFC division football teams. They're all Upper Midwest, or were now it's the NFC North. I think it's been a long time, but when I was in Colorado for school, I like everybody, I was like, I'm never, I'm a fan for life. I'm never gonna change. And then I watched John Elway win a Super Bowl in front of my eyes. I was like, oh wow. And it was still gradual, and I still, of all the professional sports, um, my allegiance to my childhood team is still equal to that of my not I guess my involvement has long since fallen by the wayside, right? It's tough, if you're not in the market, you don't get all the games, or you can't, back in the day I used to get the ticket and everything. I kind of moved away from all that, and um, so there's means now with the internet. You certainly can stay on top of those, but just keeping up with the news, sports talk radio and all that, that's definitely something I certainly used to do a lot more than I do now. I was tune into all those kind of guys, and so yeah, it's tough not to grow into a market when you made a permanent home in a new place. That's kind of part of it. And the other parts were some of the teams that I used to have loyalty to growing up all went away. When I was a little kid, I was a big North Stars fan, and they got to a Stanley Cup final, and I was a little kid, and we got a few of the games on TV where I lived, and so that was pretty cool. They played the Pittsburgh Penguins, Mario Lemieux, new young star, best player in the NHL, rivaling the childhood, the great of everyone growing up was Wayne Gretzky. He was unquestioned, unparalleled, and still to this day, some of his records are just ridiculous. Everybody is Crosby and Lemieux and all that, and they are unquestionably great individual talents, but Gretzky was beyond belief, and I got to go to a North Stars game once as a kid, and actually they were playing the Kings, and it was after Gretzky had moved from Edmonton to Los Angeles, and I got to see him play in a game. Nothing special. I was a little kid, so we had whatever cheapo seats or whatever. Whoever's parent. I think it was one of my friend's dads had the tickets and took us up to go see that game. But yeah, we got to see him play. It was amazing, and um, so he'd kind of been the childhood great. Pittsburgh was coming on, and they ended up beating the North Stars in the Stanley Cup final. And as I recall, as a kid, it was the first time because this was well, it was I don't know. It was certainly the first time I'd ever seen had any reason because I think back then, even back then, unless you were local market, everything was on cable, so you didn't even see games. And my parents didn't have cable, and we didn't particularly get local market games, so or those local market games. So it was for me, it was kind of radio or bust for a lot of that kind of stuff, and mainly it was checking box scores and stuff in the newspaper the next day. But they were doing really well, and so some of the games were getting picked up and broadcast regionally. It was cool, and they they for the team and the sport that I played as a kid and watching all these games and all my childhood um, sports idol kind of people were playing, either older and playing in that or had grown out. So it was a big deal. It was pretty cool to see all that, and then they lost, and the very next year, while they still had all his talent, Mike Modano was a new young, there was Mario Lemieux was out there, Stevie Yzerman for the Red Wings, and then Modano had come in. I think it was maybe his rookie year when they played that series. Oh wow, I got this talent. This is huge, awesome stuff. And then new owner came in and sold him, or took him to Dallas, and that hit real hard. That was as a fairly young kid, kind of I think either just into or pre high school kind of age when all that went down. Um, that was a big eye opener on how sports really, it's not just oh yeah, it's all about the game and there's big business there, and that was eye opening for me. So it got interesting, got real. Now, where did I already lose my, oh, here's my torch. Oh, man. Are you kidding? I think we can adjust a little bit more in terms of where we want to build. I don't think we need to just keep pointlessly excavating. So, what do we need next? I don't think we're going to build out of the same material that's right here. We got a little wood. That's all stuff. We could use some of this actual sandstone, kind of reverse things or keep the theme, but kind of thinking let's just while we're thinking about it, let's switch. Oh, that's a hoe. I was like, we got 6 picks? I thought we only had 5. Let's go in here and see if we can just get some access, and I think we popped out over here, right? Oh, here's something. Let's just try to get some stone. We'll see what fun we can run into as we just maybe tougher than we thought. Nope. Oh man. Nope. Oh. Alright, if you want to be that way about it, diorite, we'll shift over. Take that, neat. I see your determination is as good as mine. Pink and white stone, Neapolitan ice cream. Like I said, this is going to be World 2 worthy without a staircase kind of deal, right? Yeah, it's probably pretty comparable to what we have in the Nether. We'll put some doors and maybe some windows and stuff, although I don't think I'm going to cook any glass. Alright, not nearly enough. Basically just a safe place to, kind of throw our bed, throw a couple inside chests, although for now we can even leave those. I'm not stressing on anything. I can't. There's a deep part of me that refuses to let this coal just sit untouched, though. With diorite and granite we can leave, but the coal, that's a different story. Like I said, gold everywhere. We no longer have to worry about gold, by the way. Not that we were. We were already doing just fine. It kind of makes the Nether a little bit of an overkill. I don't know how many people really appreciate this biome much anymore. I mean, clearly it can be tough to find, I'll say that. But, it's not that different, right? There's not exciting new content. It's basically, just the abandoned mine shafts closer to the surface with gold instead of iron and probably more mine carts. So it's not eye-popping, but the Nether update with the extra gold and stuff there really, just kind of redundant. Really, you didn't need all that extra gold when you've got so much of it in this biome ready to be grabbed. 4.5 stacks, 5.5 stacks. That should be good, right? I'm not looking to spend 2 days. We are getting close to time though, so let's park. Dump the garbage. Not a lot of garbage. Well, that we really should be using. I think we've got some more sand in here though. We should be using that on our sugar farm. Speaking of sugar farm, before we get too gone, let's go see if anything else has grown. Come on, please. So in our next episode, we'll build a shack of some kind. We will go for a boat ride where we'll hope to find more sugar. If we can ever accumulate enough paper, we'll make a bunch more rockets, because I think we have a full stack plus of gunpowder, right? Let's check that before we wrap up here. And as much as I would love to do that, it's not overly late tonight, but I think for myself, I'm gonna call it here. Yeah, so we got a stack in a bit. Yeah, for tonight, I think I'm gonna call it here. we'll come back and start again fresh. But I've got 3 episodes, I believe. I think I've got the one where we found nothing and realized we'd lost the shulker. So the second and third of the boat trips, and then this episode, all to get loaded up. And I don't want to just create a backlog of a ton of extra videos. When they go up tonight, I think I can reorder them if they don't sort by name successfully, or like the order that I started them in. Because if this is shorter than some of the others, it may complete, and I don't know what that does to the order in the playlist, just as they appear, in publication date and stuff. So I'm a little concerned about all that. We'll give it a try, learn our lessons, but I think this is where we call it a night. I really appreciate so much everybody tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the little venture into the Badlands gold mine. Um, Again, between the Badlands and the kind of southwestern U.S. feelings that this evokes, I absolutely love this biome. Was looking for it for a long time. The red sandstone is going to be huge. We've got a lot of potential content now unlocked, and projects that I've kind of been holding off on, all ready to go. So lots of stuff. Tomorrow we'll build a little thing while we wait for some sugar, and then take off, trying to get back home and start making this a connected part of our world. So until then, I hope you guys all take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day, evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time you like to watch these at. Do take a break and step outside. Hopefully it's beautiful where you're at. Even if it's not, bundle up and get some fresh air, get some exercise. Do you good, make you feel good about things. So until next time, you guys are awesome. Oh, oh, yeah, we know. Um, boats for the win. Yeah, we've done some boating. All right, that'll do us, guys. Take care. See you next time.